right, hey, what's up, guys? Back here for episode 3 on the After the Three Count podcast. I'm Chris Agony, joined by my co-host Marvin. We're gonna talk a lot about Raw today, maybe a couple other wrestling related stuff. Yeah, Marvin, any opening statements that you might have today? Anything that you want to get off your chest?
Dude, I just want to start off with I really enjoyed this episode of Raw. Like there was some fluff, but I really enjoyed it. It's been better than past couple weeks.
Uh huh.
So that's just what I want to say.
Okay.
And I want to dive into that.
Okay, it's definitely an opinion. um, before we start off with the actual show, I did want to get your opinion on something that I read a little bit earlier today. kind of breaking news here, but it said that Pat McAfee is probably not coming back to the WWE. Do you have any opinions on that? What's your takeaways?
That's crazy. Yeah, I just seen that too. I mean, I what I saw was that he said that I don't know if he said it or someone wrote it, but supposedly that the WWE is in a good place right now. It doesn't need me along those lines. But I like Pat McAfee. Honestly, he was just something. He brought something else to the commentating crew with Michael Cole. It sucks, that he's not gonna be there, but at the same time, it's like it's not too much of a big loss in my
Right.
opinion. It sucks, but no, I didn't really think too much about it.
So I liked Pat McAfee a lot until the whole thing with Corey Graves started. What, about a year or so ago, where they kind of demoted Corey Graves, sorry, down to NXT because Pat McAfee was the famous one, I guess, and he was able to draw more eyes. So once that started happening, that kind of soured my opinion on him a little bit. Him being gone, like you kind of said, it doesn't really matter to me too much, especially since he's been gone now for a decent amount of time. January is usually around the time that he comes back, and he's usually there for WrestleMania season. So the fact that we're almost halfway into March at this point, and we're now getting this saying that he's not coming back. Dude, honestly, at this point, I kind of forgot that he was even supposed to come back at some point. But yeah, I saw it a little earlier. Kind of wanted to get opinions on where you might be with that. But yeah, I mean, then let's. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, no, for Pat McAfee. Well, for me, I mean, he's he has a podcast in more about football, right? I'm not really like a big football person, so I didn't really know him until WWE.
Right.
And that's I just got into him there because he does seem like a lot of fun. Like his commentating it's just fun to me. It's energetic. It sounds like he's an actual fan rather than like a professional.
Yeah, it was a little different. I'll give you that. You compare him to like we say a Michael Cole or even more so Corey Graves, and it is a different take, I guess, on the product. Some people were kind of sour on that a little bit because it was kind of childish, maybe a little bit, kind of too playful at times. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed him for the most part.
Yeah.
Now that he's most likely not coming back, it doesn't change my, my opinions or overall enjoyment of the shows. But yeah, I just wanted to get your quick opinion on that, and then so now, I mean, if you want to, we can get into the bulk of the show.
Let's do it.
So the show started off with Mr. Adam Pearce in the ring. This opening was probably one of the weirdest openings I think I've ever seen in my entire life. So it started out with Adam Pearce in the ring talking about how he doesn't like the Vision, but because he's the boss, he can't really say that, even though he just did.
Right.
And then he tries calling out Seth to talk about all the BS, I guess, that's been going on over the last month or so. And then Seth comes out. Very, very weird. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain this. It was odd. It was clunky. It was like very circus act. It was dude. Seth literally he shadow clone jutsu You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it made no sense whatsoever.
Yep.
Um, yeah, just
Dude, just the beginning of that, I was just like when the Masked Man came, Masked Man,
right.
fucking Seth came out. He was on the table. It's like, okay, that's Seth. Who's wondering who this guy is? It's Seth, obviously. And then he calls out all the other Masked Men. They all get in the ring. They start like Scooby Dooing the hell out of that, ching, Kagebushi no Jutsu instead. But it made me laugh because like the, the moment they were all doing that, I saw there was this one guy who was like a bit on the bigger side. I'm like, yeah, we know that's not Seth. Like, just the straight body structure. I'm like, what are they doing? And then for it to just be Seth and he takes off the mask, like, dude, you were just there. Like, why didn't you just walk in? Like, what was the point of all that?
It didn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like I don't know what the creative team was thinking in putting this out there. And then so after the fact, after Logan and Theory come out, and Seth puts the mask back on and they start scrambling in the ring, like that didn't make any sense to me. Like at one single point did I lose Seth in that scramble. I knew which one was him from the moment he put the mask back on. It just didn't make any sense to me. It was a weird 15 minutes. It just I don't get it, man. I really don't understand where they thought that this was a good idea.
Honestly, bro, this gave me vibes of the WWE from what, like 10 plus years ago, when they were just very cartoony, very
Yep.
circus act. I did not like that at all. It just made no sense. Seth didn't even talk, and it's just like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
This whole Masked Man, like, just please end this.
Yeah.
I'm over this. I don't want to see any more
Bro,
Masked
but
Man
you know
here
what's
anymore.
gonna happen though, right? Is at some point when Braun Breaker is ready to come back, he's gonna come back as the Masked Man. I guarantee it. He's gonna attack Seth, and then we're gonna be on this fucking 3 week, who's under the mask, and it's gonna be Braun Breaker. It's just as tired as we are of this Masked Man thing, it's just gonna keep going.
I don't know who's. Oh god. And then the funny thing with that, with Braun Breaker, we're gonna know just based on his body
Right.
structure. Like, it's just gonna be a bigger dude.
Right.
It's like, oh, I wonder who that is.
Right.
Running around like crazy, like.
So then toward the end of this, LA Knight comes out. He starts to get into it with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Logan Paul and Austin Theory get the upper hand, and then the Usos come out. At first, I thought we were going to get some sort of tag team match between all of them. Nothing really ended up coming of it. They went to commercial break. The Usos ended up running it back, and then everybody just kind of went backstage. Any thoughts on the Usos coming out and everybody
Bro,
else?
first, I'm so over Jey Uso. I'm just so over the music, the yeet, the all that. But what annoyed me the most is that, like, they're coming out to help out, I guess, someone, but they're just walking all calm. Like, he's just like vibing to his thing. He does his little weird almost crawling thing, and then he like gets to the ring. It gave me vibes of like when I think Matt Hardy was getting his ass kicked, and then Jeff Hardy comes up, but then
And
he
they
does
do
his
the little dance.
Yeah, it's like, dude, your boy's getting jumped. Like, in one of my videos, I'm just like, dude, he's getting jumped. Go, like, stop, I just thought it was like the same old thing. I'm like, oh, okay, they got the numbers now. They're gonna beat them up. They're gonna walk away, and just very, what do you call it? Very basic.
All right. So I mean,
Yeah.
this just kind of confirms to me that that it's going to be Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus the Usos at WrestleMania. It kind of just leaves what's LA Knight going to be doing for WrestleMania. Is he even going to be on the card at this point? One thing that they kind of stuck out to me was Adam Pearce did say that Seth Rollins wasn't medically cleared. He said something about he had surgery just 5 months ago. He's not medically cleared right now. So in the case that he's not medically cleared by WrestleMania, do you see a world where maybe LA Knight takes on a Brock Lesnar?
Is a great point. I mean, I would love to see that. I don't really think that's gonna happen though, especially with LA Knight right now, just because the botching and all that stuff. I don't know. To me, like getting a match with Brock Lesnar is because like, okay, like this is gonna be our guy, you know?
Right.
And I'm not saying he's not gonna be the guy. I mean, eventually he will be. But I'm just getting vibes that honestly, dude, I'm getting the vibe that he's just not even gonna be a part of WrestleMania, dude. Or maybe just in some random like scramble match or something like that.
I just
But
I
I don't
don't
know, dude.
I don't think
I don't see
leaving LA Knight off the WrestleMania card is the best idea. He's
Mhm,
still, you know, no matter what, he's still one of the most over guys the company has.
mhm,
Sorry. Um, and again, he's been kind of intertwined in this Vision storyline for at this point, you know, the better part of a year. Um, so you know, with Braun Breaker being out, with Bronson Reed being out,
mhm.
you know, Seth kind of still in limbo. We're not really sure 100% what's going on with him. It kind of only leaves, you know, Brock Lesnar, who's kind of has some attachments to the Vision. You know, obviously not a whole part of it, but you know,
Mhm.
he was in that War Games match with him. He has, you know, Paul Heyman's still his guy. So I feel like the only people that LA Knight could go up against is somebody from, you know, the Vision, or somebody that has something to do with the Vision, and Brock Lesnar is the only guy that's left.
Yeah.
So if it's not LA Knight and Brock Lesnar, yeah, I think, you know, I mean, unless you put him in just some random segment at WrestleMania, I don't, you know, outside of that, I don't see a match, and I don't think that that's a good idea.
No, yeah. No, I 100% agree, but I mean, it logically it does make sense that yeah, Brock Lesnar has some, you know, not part, but like just something related to the
Right.
Vision in Paul Heyman. But I don't see Brock Lesnar wanting to fight LA Knight. You know, I just knowing how he is, and I'm not like trying to disrespect LA Knight or anything because that dude is great. But I mean, but just right now alone, like there's just mistakes from him, and I don't know if they like have trust in him to be honest. And I don't I honestly think he's just gonna be a part of some like random segment or I mean, we're gonna dive into it a little bit further, but I don't know if the Usos are gonna have something to do with CM Punk now. Maybe one of them. I don't know. Maybe that'll leave an opening for like, okay, we still got to take out the Vision, but it's kind of hard to tell right now, in my
Right.
opinion, dude. I don't really know what's gonna happen to LA Knight.
Yeah, we'll get more into the Uso stuff a little later. I don't
Yeah.
see the Usos having anything to do with CM Punk closer to WrestleMania, obviously because, you know, Roman Reigns is he has the match against CM Punk in the main event. So again, I think the Usos are going to be 100% intertwined with the Vision come WrestleMania for those tag team titles. Again, I just don't think that leaving LA Knight off of that card is going to be the best idea. Especially, you know, if ticket sales is your big concern right now, because he's still a guy that can move. You know, I mean, maybe not, you know, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes numbers, but he can still move some tickets.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I just, you know, outside of that, I don't see anything else for him. I don't know, man. I hope that there's still something there for him. Maybe, you know, Bronson Reed comes back a little earlier. And
Yeah,
I mean,
that
not
would be.
Bronson Reed. I'm sorry, Braun Breaker. And you know, if Seth is still hurt at the time, then that gives LA Knight something to do there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, after that, um, we had a small backstage segment with Jackie and the Usos. Jackie's basically
Mhm.
saying like, "Hey, CM Punk was talking a little bit of shit about your family. Do you guys have anything to say?" Um, and that kind of ended there, you know. And then
Mhm.
we got the finish to that, you know, a little bit later on in the night. Um, After that, we had the gauntlet match, the women's gauntlet match for the Intercontinental Women's Championship.
Mhm.
What was your thoughts on the match as a whole?
The match as a whole, I thought it was great. I was very entertained with Io and Lyra. Just their match, it was a short amount of time of the
Right.
match that they had, but I thought it was really great. Like they were wrestling, they were really technical. I could definitely see like a full match from them eventually later on.
Right.
But I'm happy that Io won the first one. And I thought it was badass though. And as soon as she wins, you had Raquel coming out. And she's just a total monster
Yeah.
now, dude. Like she is fucking incredible. Like I'm really enjoying her work. Um, yeah. What are your thoughts on that? On the Raquel? I don't want to like say all of
So
it through
so
the
I
match.
really I enjoyed this match a lot.
Mhm.
You know, even the finish, you know my opinions on Bailey aren't of the highest esteem, but I understand why
Mhm.
it was as she was the one that won. Do I agree with it? No, not at all. But again, I completely get it. If it were up to me, I would have either had Lyra or maybe an Ivy Nile win this entire
Mhm.
thing. I just feel like having either one of them as the first opponent for an AJ Lee would have been um, maybe they would have been better off. I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say. The match as a whole again was really really good. Starting off with Lyra and Io. Io's the best wrestler on the planet. Men,
Yes.
women, WWE, TNA, AEW doesn't matter. She's the greatest
Everywhere.
wrestler on on the planet. Her and Lyra put on a really really good. What was probably like a 7 minute match.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was very technical. They just flowed off of each other really really well.
They,
Once the
yeah.
once the end came and then Raquel came out, at this point I was kind of like, oh shit, like I didn't really know, I guess at this point where this match was gonna go, because I could see, either EO going all the way or Raquel just fucking plowing through everybody.
Yeah.
Um, I was kind of surprised that EO pulled off the win here. Of course, it wasn't clean. We did have, some interference from Liv,
Mhm.
kind of messing up Raquel again, like we saw a couple of weeks ago in that Stephanie match.
Yeah.
Um, but then they protected EO a lot by having Raquel just completely beat the ever living out of her.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have Ivy come out after that. She ends up getting the pin on EO without having to
Yeah.
do anything. She literally just rolled her over and pinned
Comes
her.
in, rolls. Yep.
And then we had a really really good match between Ivy and Bailey after that. Um,
Wow. Wait,
yeah.
wait. Say that again. Say that again. One more time for the people.
As much, I again, she is a really good wrestler. I just don't enjoy her character. Um, and it all started from that hugger, the hugger Bailey stuff. I never understood it.
Oh
I
man.
never cared for it. But again, I'm not that much of a hater to say that she sucks in the ring, because she doesn't. I've always really really enjoyed Ivy Niles' work, and I'm glad that she was able to kind of flesh it out here a little bit with Bailey. I again, I at this point I would have really really enjoyed Ivy to win the entire thing from here on out, but I'm glad that she was able to kind of showcase what she has here with Bailey. Once the ending here happened, we get, was it Asuka? I think was the last one
It
to
was
come out, right? Asuka
yep.
and Bailey, they have really good chemistry. They've always had really good
Another
chemistry.
banger. Yep.
It was a really really good match. All the way, toward the end, we had a lot of interference from Kyrie, and then Lyra comes back out to help Bailey, eventually get the win over Asuka here and win the entire thing to become the number one contender. So next week we're getting Bailey versus AJ Lee, which
Yep.
it should be a good match. Especially now that AJ's kind of gotten, a lot of that ring rust off of her. And then going against somebody like a Bailey should make things probably a little bit easier for her.
Mhm.
Again, I get why Bailey won. In a world where this is AJ Lee's first title defense, going against an Io Sky or a Raquel would have. There's no way that AJ is gonna lose here, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So going up against an Io Sky or Raquel Rodriguez would do nothing but bad things for Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Um, if anybody was going to win this and still come out on top in a loss, it was Bailey.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you can't really do any wrong with her. She has, an entire legacy behind her of things that she's accomplished in the company. Um, the only thing about this match that I didn't like, and of course it has something to do with Bailey. Bailey has the worst finisher on
The
the
belly,
planet. No,
Bailey
no,
to
no,
Bailey,
not
or
even the belly, the Bailey to belly or whatever. The rose plant. The rose plant
Ah,
sucks.
the
I
roast man.
fucking hate the rose plant. So the fact, the match ended on a rose plant after some interference from both Kyrie and Lyra. I don't know, man. I just feel like there's better finishers out there that she could have, chosen to do, but it is what it is at this point. She, Bailey's Bailey. So
Wait, no,
yeah.
yeah, no, 100% agree. It makes sense. I want to go back to when you said you thought it could have gone like Io or Raquel in the beginning, just because how they started. Definitely my thoughts exactly. I was kind of one of my mistakes too was that I didn't hear until later that this is gonna be for next week.
Yeah.
I thought this was like the gauntlet match, then it was gonna lead up to WrestleMania for the title. That's what I thought. So that's why I was like, oh man, I hope it is Io. I hope she has kind of like what Kofi Kingston did years back, where he just won that whole gauntlet, just to kind of show that like, hey, Io, she's singles again. This is what she can do,
Right.
And to me, if she was gonna win, it was either gonna be her or Raquel. And I thought, okay, well, Io's first. She had a great match with Lyra. Raquel's probably just gonna beat her just in terms because she's fresh, And I'm like, okay, if Raquel wins, if Raquel beats Io Sky, then yeah, Raquel's probably gonna take this because she's just a monster. I would have loved just a confrontation between her and AJ Lee. Maybe not necessarily a match, because you do have a point. Like, I don't think, if they're gonna keep AJ Lee winning, it's gonna hurt Raquel because Raquel's just kind of has a momentum going for her.
Right.
But I would have loved to just seen like a promo, just the two Latina women just kind of like going at it. That would have been pretty cool. Yeah, and then thinking back about it too with Io Sky, I mean, I would like for AJ to maybe have a couple more matches. I know like she's, the rest is slowly going away, but to face someone like Io Sky, I would want for her to just have a couple more matches, just kind of.
But I feel like Io Sky could wrestle a water bottle and make it look good. You know what I mean? So I feel like going, if you have some sort of ring rust still, it's been 15 years, I think, since she's really, really wrestled. If you have some sort of ring rust still, I think you want to go against somebody like an Io Sky. That being said, I feel like Bailey is also in that category where she's somebody that you do want to go against if you're still trying to, shake off some of that ring rust, because she can carry a lot of that match if she really, really needs to. There's a reason that those Becky matches were as good as they were, and a lot of that was because Becky was carrying
Becky.
At least in my opinion, so yeah, going up against somebody of that caliber would make things a lot easier, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. Again, this was in the beginning for me because I was thinking whoever won this match was gonna face AJ Lee at WrestleMania, so I thought it was gonna be like a whole lead up to WrestleMania. But yeah, since it's next week, I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. It's Bailey, because honestly, my opinion, versus Io Sky or Raquel, that's a money match, man. That's got to be in a PLE, because that would be insane. And then there's got to be a build up to it too, just how like there was with Becky, there was a build up to it. It was really good. The matches were good. But yeah, I think Bailey, she was the right choice. What was it? What was her name? What was her name? Ivy.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought she did really great, dude. One of my favorite moments was when she did that vertical suplex, and she
kept her out there for like a long time. Yep.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, dude, this chick is just so powerful. Like,
it was very Jackhammer-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I enjoyed that. I was just like, okay, because I've seen her here and there from American Made and stuff, but she's always losing, but like losing very quick.
Yeah.
This one, the match went on for a bit. Like, it showed her, like, it showed the world, like, hey, this is what she can do.
Right.
So I definitely want to see a little bit more of her. Dude, what are your thoughts on Asuka and Kyrie? When is Kyrie gonna turn, man? When is Kyrie gonna stand up for herself?
There's an issue that's been an issue, I guess, for some time now, where Triple H does this really, really long, drawn out stories, right? I feel like the time for Kyrie to stand up for herself was a couple of months ago. At this point, I don't care anymore. Maybe when it happens, my opinion on that will change. But as of right now, I just like, so what? You know what I mean? Like, it just, at first it was really enjoyable. With Oscar kind of bullying her around, and then there's always that joke. Oscar walks off and Kyrie. You know what I mean?
Agree,
Um, and again, it was really really enjoyable at first, but at this point, bro, we're like 4 or 5 months into it, and I don't care anymore. I really
Yeah.
don't.
Too long on the payoff for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, I see.
Um. Sorry. Go ahead.
I would think. Depending on what you're going to have Asuka do, or if she's even gonna be a part of WrestleMania, I think maybe something starting now would. It might not be the payoff they thought, but it would kind of make sense in my opinion, just to kind of have them in WrestleMania too.
So, but
Or
here's the thing,
I don't
though:
know
is
what you
it
think.
is it if Kyrie decides to stand up for herself between now and WrestleMania, I don't see this being on the WrestleMania card whatsoever.
At all?
If they have a match, it's going to be on some random Raw, maybe on the one before or the one after WrestleMania. But there's no way in hell that this is going to be on the card. What I see happening is that they're going to find their way into WrestleMania as a tag team, going for the tag team titles. Whether it's a multi-woman match or maybe a TLC match, and maybe them losing will kind of trigger Kyrie to finally stand up for herself against Asuka, because if they lose, I can see Asuka kind of blaming it on Kyrie, similar to
Yeah.
the whole Royal Rumble stuff.
Mhm.
So at that point, I could see her starting to stick up for herself, and then at that point, maybe after the fact, there'll be a match. But I don't see this being on any kind of PLE card, whether it's WrestleMania, Backlash, or anything past that. I feel like it's going to be a one-off match, and then that's it. And we're just not going to care anymore. We're not going to see one of them on TV for a while. Asuka's going to probably go back to being, the dominating Asuka, and then that's it. And then we fucking figure out what to do after that.
Yeah. That's
So,
true. That's true. Yeah, that's honestly the only way. If they're gonna even have them at WrestleMania, that would make sense to
yeah.
just get them involved for the women's titles.
Um,
We'll see what happens with them.
yeah. So then after that, there was a backstage segment with Danhausen and the original Grande Americano. Um, so basically, it was Danhausen saying that he really liked Grande's mask and he wanted it. He tried to take it off. He
He
wasn't
tries to
letting
take
him.
it off.
And then the original Grande gets cursed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was about to go out for a match against Penta for the IC title, and
Yep.
he gets cursed, and then he kind of just disappears. We don't really know what happens to
We
him.
don't know.
There was nothing saying that he got attacked. There was maybe some implications there when we saw the Americanos behind him, but
Behind me up. You
next
got
thing you
jumped.
know, yeah,
Boy got
next thing you know, we see the new El Grande coming out for a match against Penta.
jumped. Oh, dude. All I gotta say is, yeah, I'm becoming a Dan Housing fan, dude. Like that sold on me. Like I'm enjoying his segments. They're small. They're little. The whole curse thing. I'm all in with that now,
Right.
dude. Like I'm a fan of that.
So then, yeah, we get the match with Penta and the new El Grande.
Oh wait,
Um,
before the match. Wait,
yeah.
before the match, bro. Panta's like his promo in the beginning, dude. Oh, dude, I just thought that was fire, man.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great. The English part, and then the moment he starts speaking in Spanish, oh my god, dude, that just like lit a fire in everyone, dude.
For me,
It
it
was
was
great.
it was very reminiscent of the first promo that he did after his first match when he debuted
Yeah,
in
yeah.
WWE. It
Mhm.
reminded me a lot of that, and again, I was actually at that show. So I remember the feeling that I had, especially like you said, when he did start to speak in Spanish. Um, One of the things that I really, really do like about Penta is that he doesn't exclude the rest of the Hispanics. Because I feel like a lot of the luchadors, they kind of just stick to Mexico for the most part.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you and I not being Mexican ourselves, I always feel like, all right, like yeah, I understand it to a certain extent, but at some point, like I would like maybe a little bit more recognition for
Yeah.
the other
Representation.
countries that are in South America. So the fact that he always brings that up,
Yeah.
he always says para todos los mexicanos y toda Latinoamérica. Like I
Latino
really really enjoy that. He
I
did the
love
same
that.
thing, like I said, during that first promo when he debuted.
Yeah,
But yeah, that promo to kick it off was it's fucking great.
it
And
was
at
just
that point,
it was incredible.
you already knew he wasn't gonna lose, but after that
Oh no,
promo, you kind
absolutely
of
not.
you know it
Yeah.
was for sure.
No, yeah, it was incredible promo, dude. I love the way the belt just looks on Penta, dude. I
Yeah.
just like Penta, dude. Penta's just a really cool guy, man.
Yep.
Oh my god. So I'm excited. But bro, the moment Grand Americano comes in, dude, just straight up heard Penta just losing his fucking mind,
Yep.
bro. Like just cursing him out. I said, wait, no. Chinga tu madre.
Yep. Yep.
I love that, dude. I love that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and then overall, the match itself was really, really good.
It was a good match.
The finish, saw El Grande take a Mexican destroyer. 1, 2, 3, and then that was it. It was a really, really good match. Very straight up. Hard hitting. That's what you can expect from Penta matches too. Is it's always going to be very hard hitting. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I don't really have too much else to say. I'm ecstatic that he finally has a belt, and it being a singles belt is even that much better. I can't wait for the day because we know it's gonna happen that this guy goes for a world championship.
Oh my god.
And hopefully when that day comes, he can pull it off and take it from whoever it is. Because yeah, I could see him, doing great things with those titles too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was even like a little preview of that in Money in the Bank when he was supposedly
Right.
about to win the get the briefcase. Like, dude, everyone popped. Like that
Yep.
was a big pop. Us being there, we heard that it was very loud, dude. So yeah, I can definitely see that, and I'm looking forward to it. But right now, I am I'm looking forward to his IC title run. I know it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, his promo to me was just what set it all up. And hey, just a thing for my non-Spanish speakers, I've translated that in my reels, so feel free to read it.
One more quick thing with the Penta thing. I
Yeah.
hope that us getting a championship match his first weekend means that he's going to be defending that belt a lot. As much as I love Dom and I loved his title reign, toward the end there, and I understand because he was hurt. But toward the end there, we didn't get any kind of defenses whatsoever. And I really like the IC title. So I hope, from here on out, maybe not to the extent that we see the US title being defended, but I hope that we get a lot more defenses. And I hope that some of these defenses are on PLEs too.
Yeah, they have to be, man, because it's Penta, it's money. That's all there is to that, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So then after that, we had the incredible promo from Stephanie.
Oh my god. Perfection, man.
Dude,
Oh
I love this feud. Everything about it has just been money. We forgot to mention that actually the gauntlet match Stephanie came out, and that's what distracted Raquel.
Yep.
So yeah, getting this promo a little bit later on in the show, she was just kind of going over everything that Liv said last week. She basically, the gist of it was that she sees more in Liv than Liv sees in herself. She said that yeah, she understands that she did sacrifice. Maybe the sacrifice was different, but sacrifice is still sacrifice. But yeah, she was just saying like you hide behind a man, there's no need for that. You hide behind your judgment day, there's no need for that. You could be great, but you don't want to be. So yeah, man, I really enjoyed this promo. I love that she went back and forth between her English and her Spanish. When she goes into her Spanish, man, she's just so believable. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see what Liv's rebuttal is here. But I'm enjoying everything about this feud so far.
No, so far it's been great. No, but yeah, going back to what you said about when she switches to Spanish, oh my god, dude, the intensity of those promos they pick up, dude. Like exactly what you said, she's believable. It's just like whoa, it's like a dial, turn. It's incredible. I am excited for that. Um, dude, the part that made me laugh though, just straight up, what you call her, Floja,
Yeah.
and Habuta. I was like, "Yo, Stephanie." No, but
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely need, I want to see them again face to face, throwing out another promo just to see how it goes. But dude, it's been great just so far with everything's being said. The live promo was fire as well.
Yep.
This one comes back hard as well. Oh man,
So
it's
like
looking great. This is
the
gonna be sick.
like you kind of just mentioned, the only thing that I want out of this feud now is I want more face to faces. As much as I'm enjoying these backstage kind of pre-recorded promos, there's nothing like a face to face. I understand kind of why they're doing this because Stephanie's English still isn't, 100%.
It's not there yet.
But I feel like with Dom in the picture, she doesn't need to speak English. She can go out there and cut her promos in Spanish, or at least maybe even half in Spanish, because Dom can live translate to Liv, kind of like they did with that interview promo with Michael Cole.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I want to see more of that. I hope going forward we get more of that, because at this point we still have a little over a month until WrestleMania, so we have like probably 4 more Raws. And I don't want to see just strictly backstage stuff. I want them to go out there. I want them to talk face to face. I just don't want them to worry about Stephanie's English or anything like that, because we do have a Dom that can
Yeah.
fill that void, or that language barrier, I guess, between her and Liv.
And yeah, it makes sense with Dom, but dude, we also have Raquel too, dude.
That's true.
Like I've heard her speak Spanish. We
That's
also
true.
have her as well. So there's no reason for them not to do face-to-face promo leading up to WrestleMania. Now, the 2 backstage promo, they were great. Let's leave it at that. Let's not, you know,
Let's
well,
not
what's the
overdo
saying,
it.
like,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, let's not overdo it. Exactly. Yeah, this is great. This is perfection. Leave it as that.
right.
Have them come out next week or whenever, but definitely they need to come out one more time and get face to face. And I enjoyed just the little beat, the kick, the super kick just looked awesome,
Yep.
dude. The way she dodged their Liv's attack and then just straight for the kick, it just looked amazing to me. But yeah, definitely got to see more promos from them face to face. Hopefully these next 4 Raws, man, we can see that.
So then we got to what I felt was the best segment of the night. And so there was a small backstage segment first where we see the Judgment Day, and this was right after Stephanie's promo. They're all kind of talking amongst themselves, and then Dom shows up and he asks for Finn. Nobody's seen him throughout the night. JD gets up and he goes to look for him. Dom comes to the ring, and he's accompanied by both, Liv and Raquel. He says it, he's been looking for Finn, but he can't find him, so he's forced to, air out their grievances in front of everybody, as much as he didn't want to do it. Finn Balor comes out, and yeah, at this point, man, I'm so excited because we finally have Finn Balor back.
Yep.
He basically says that Rey Mysterio was right about Dom all along. Which I knew was gonna piss Dom off. I didn't.
Did it ever?
So I knew. We just talked about how Triple H likes to draw out stories for months and months and months and months, right? So that was my biggest fear here, was it, we've been seeing this tension kind of build up over the last couple of months or whatever, and now that we're finally here, my fear was it was still going to get drawn out and drawn out and drawn out. So I'm glad and I'm so happy that it didn't. This segment surprised the shit out of me, mainly because of JD McDonough. I did not expect JD to side with Dom over Finn, but I'm so glad that this happened, because this really does free up Finn Balor from everybody else.
Yep.
So again, it was basically, Finn saying that Rey Mysterio was right. Dom shoves him, and then Finn hits him with the Pele, and then they just start going back and forth at this point. Again, once JD hit Finn with that clothesline, that fucking clothesline was so good. It was so really dude. Good. It was, oh my god, bro. I was so happy when this started to happen. Finn gets jumped by all 4 of them, and then he's kind of just left in the ring at the end of it. But yeah, man, what was your thoughts and opinions on this whole shebang?
No, dude, I agree. Probably the best segment of tonight's Raw episode. Yeah, definitely the moment where he comes out, the whole hey, we're family, we're gonna this was me teaching you a lesson. That I understand your fear, because for me I was like, they're probably gonna hug it out and just
Yep.
like they're all good, raise their hands, and everyone's just gonna boo or cheer or whatever, and then we're just gonna walk away. I thought that's how that was gonna go. But bro, yeah, the moment he mentioned, yeah, your Rey Mysterio was right, that you are what do you call him, a spoiled
Yep.
prick. And oh my god, that pop, dude! Even JD's face, they caught him. He was just like,
Yep.
clean cut right there. And yeah, exactly, dude. Dude, I thought that Pele kit was awesome, dude. I did not see that coming. I thought he was just gonna like just a swing or something, but he
Right.
just does this crazy ass move. I'm like, dude, that caught me off guard. I was excited. I was already hyped there. And yeah, exactly. JD being the one that was like that sided with Dom, because I thought there was gonna be a moment where Liv was gonna just jump on Finn's back.
Hmm.
You remember that
When
part
he was
where
in
she
the
was on
corner, yeah, when he was doing
yeah, he was in the corner.
the shotgun
Yeah,
drop. Yep.
yeah, I thought she was just gonna jump on his back, and I'm like, nah, dude, why you turn your back on her? Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? And then
I
boom,
thought
that.
I thought she was gonna low blow him, and I'm surprised that she didn't.
Mm,
So
that's
when
another thing.
he
Yeah.
actually got the kickoff on Dom, I was like, all right, like is Liv maybe kind of, but then she jumped on him
No
afterwards, and
way.
that kind of
No, yeah. No, yeah. After, oh my god, but like, yeah, exactly what you said. That clothesline from JD was just wow, and just great. It's just great. Everything. Um, but Finn Balor just getting jumped. I was just like, no, Finn,
yeah.
like, come on. But yeah, I mean, this is I feel like we spoke about this. Like, this was kind of what was gonna happen.
Hmm.
That JD that not JD, Finn Balor was gonna not necessarily talk shit, but just kind of like, hey, like it's your fault, or I was trying to teach you a lesson type of thing. But so much better than what I thought it was gonna
Right.
be, man. Just everything about it was perfect. Even the whole jumping at the end too, it was just like, all right, we have Finn Balor, but he's got to take this beat down. It's like
Yep.
like gangs, like you're gonna leave
Yep.
the gang, but you're gonna get your ass kicked before you leave. But
Yeah. I was
this, no,
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, yeah, this you called it too, man. This is gonna most likely lead up to a WrestleMania match then.
Yeah. So the only thing was that originally when I thought that they were gonna have a WrestleMania match, and I'm talking a couple weeks to a couple months ago, I
Right.
just assumed that this was gonna be for the IC title.
Mhm.
So obviously, now it's not because Penta beat him last week. But now I'm wondering, do you see a world where maybe this is for the AAA championship?
True. Actually, I wanted to ask you something specifically. I know you don't really watch Triple H, but you know way more
Mm,
about it than I do. I did hear that Dom has a match where if it's for the title,
mm.
and if he loses, he has to leave Triple H. You think they're just gonna go with that route?
That's right. Okay, so I forgot about that.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, if that's the case, then he's probably going to be dropping it pretty soon.
Mhm.
He's been kind of doing double duty now for a
For a
decent amount of
minute, yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see him dropping it at that point. I don't know though, because the whole leaving AAA thing is kind of crazy, especially because he is pretty over down there.
Mm,
As much as people love to hate Dom.
yeah.
So I don't see a world where they kind of just completely kick him out and exclude him 100% from AAA. But
Mhm.
if they want to go into WrestleMania with him having nothing, then that's the time to do it. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to kind of wait and see for that time to come, and then we'll see what happens
No,
with this whole Finn Balor thing too.
because could you see a world where Finn Balor goes to AAA?
So the Judgment Day has already
Or
done a lot of stuff down there.
mhm.
So yeah, I could see him kind of
But
doing double duty. Sorry,
as a
go ahead.
solo, yeah, like Dom, double duty. Sorry, as a solo star, like double duty, like
Yeah,
Dom.
I
You
could
think
see it. I could
that
see
would
it,
make sense?
especially because I don't know if you know, but Finn Balor's, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or fiance. She like works, not necessarily for AAA, but for one of the channels that covers AAA down there. Um,
Oh,
and then like I said, they've done a lot of work down there also, so it's something that he's used to at this point. So yeah, I could see a world where Finn Balor does start to do some double duty down there, especially because he is, again, I mean, no matter where he goes, Finn Balor is going to be over.
mhm.
um, so yeah, I could definitely see that happening for sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like routes they can take, and
Yeah,
all of them sound really great.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the case for the Finn, knowing that
And
his wife.
then so on top of all that, I don't know if you know, but at least from what I understand, Undertaker is like one of the main heads of creative down there. Um, so I could I could see a world where you want somebody like a Finn Balor kind of
Yeah.
being the face of the company, at least for a short time.
No, actually,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah,
Good way to bring like both worlds together. I mean,
right,
yeah, similar to what Dom was doing, but this time it'll be at a because it's Finn Balor, it'll
right,
be at a bigger level. Plus, feuding with Dom, who's already big over there, I think it would make sense too. So,
right.
but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this like future match between them. That's gonna be great. Because I want to see I do want to see Dom a little more in the ring. Just Dom
Yeah,
is so freaking good in the ring, bro.
yeah,
Like, oh my god, dude.
I
Like
agree.
people, yeah, I feel like some people just kind of like, oh, well, he's not wrestling. For those that don't know that he was hurt or anything like that. But it's like, dude, once you see Dom wrestle, he can wrestle. Like, so yeah, I'm hoping that's a little more of that, especially with
Right,
Finn. Oh, that's gonna be great, man.
right.
Both in their peaks. Oof.
So then we had small backstage segments. There was a couple of them. There was Javon and Kofi, and then there was Lyra and Bailey. Not too much to talk about here. Kofi was just kind of saying that he sees a lot of himself in Javon. He wants to just kind of help him get to the heights that Kofi got to, throughout his career. If I'm being honest, I didn't pay too much attention to the Bailey one, so I couldn't tell you what
I
was said.
figured, yeah.
So if you want to take reins on that one, that's
Well, before that, just going back to the Kofi and Javon, I did really like that just because, yeah, dude, like just kind of thinking back, like especially when I was like watching Kofi, like that time where he was like rising up,
Yeah.
where he got that gauntlet match and he was just going crazy, bro. That's him, a younger him.
Right.
Like Javon is it's a younger version of him, and I don't know. I did like that, just kind of like the mentor, like I don't know. Kofi just kind of chilled out a little bit, just kind of like, hey, straight up, like, hey, get lost. The other guy get lost.
Right.
Waller, let me talk to this guy. I enjoyed that conversation. I just wish Kofi wasn't treated as like a just kind of like a he's just there type of guy.
Well,
I
so
mean,
so now that Xavier Woods is hurt and they kind of are in this like limbo area, um, him kind of being more of a mentor, I guess you could say, to a Javon Evans, would give him a lot to do.
yeah,
And I think it's a good area to kind of put him in. Again, I don't know 100% where this is going to go because, as far as I know, Kofi's still a heel. And Javon's like super good at Tushi's babyface,
yeah,
Um,
no, yeah,
but
absolutely.
but again, there are a lot of similarities in their characters. I think Javon
Yeah, dude.
has a higher ceiling than Kofi has ever had, which is saying a lot
Oh
because
yeah,
Kofi did reach the peak.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I just I want to see where this goes because if they do go that mentor and student route, um, I feel like it would be really really good for Javon because Kofi still has that respect from everybody.
yeah. No, dude. Till this day, I'm still upset how they made him lose at that SmackDown show in 8 seconds.
And you
against
were
Raw,
there.
bro. And I was there, bro. It was horrible, dude. I'm like bragging about Kofi, like, yeah, that's our champion. Like, this is the guy he like one of the guys you never thought would be champion. He's gonna get down with Brock Lesnar, bro. I blinked and it was over, dude. I was so upset, dude. Not just me, like everyone was upset. Like how they edited out with the cheering and all that.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Like when I was there, the area I was in, everyone was pissed. Everybody was booing because it just sucked, dude. It was disrespect to Kofi. Like I don't know. It was all to lead up to that horrible Brock versus Cain Velasquez WWE match, which was just horrible, dude. Like
I mean, not to talk about shit that happened 7 years ago at this point, but WWE has always done stupid shit like this where they just take a title off of somebody for some short-term gain or whatever. Like it just doesn't make sense. And again, we just saw it last Friday, giving the title back to Cody when it shouldn't have. But it
things never
just
changed.
yeah, it just man. You would think with different regime that some shit like that would change, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's the same.
So then after those backstage segments, we got the match between Opafemi and Rusev.
No,
So man, my thoughts on this match were kind of all over the place because we talked about it last week where I said that Rusev was a good first opponent for an Obafemi because he has that kind of track record of being like this monster character, being this powerhouse, this brute, So I felt like if there was anybody to kind of give Obafemi a run for his money, it was a Rusev. What I wasn't expecting was for this match to only be all of 4.5 minutes long. Um,
Yep.
Never did I
Mm-hmm.
think that Rusev was gonna get squashed. Basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, the power that Obafemi displayed during this match is insane. He threw Rusev across the ring like he weighed 120 pounds.
Mm.
Like,
God, my
bro.
God. They showed the replay to that in slow motion. Dude, Rusev is not 100-pound man.
No.
Like that's a big monster of a dude himself, dude. And Oba just made him look like a child.
And even the power bomb to finish the match off, like he got him up, threw him down like he was nothing. Like it was like he was a paperweight. Like it just dude, Obafemi is gonna be, I'm telling you, when I say that this man is gonna be the face of this company for the foreseeable future, I 100% mean it. It's just, man, I didn't expect this. I'm glad that it happened. I was expecting this to last, maybe like a good 8-9 minute match. I wasn't expecting this to be as short as it was.
Dude, like I don't see anything for Rusev at this point right now. It sucks to say because I was, like I said, I was a fan of Rusev. But yeah, just for me, from that Royal Rumble, the way he got rid of everybody, and then Rusev was one of those random dudes that he just got rid of his ass quick. I'm like, nah, dude, there's no way they're gonna make Rusev look like an actual threat to him, But it does it helps him more because of exactly hey, this is the real monster right now. This is the guy. So I don't know, man. You think that's gonna happen though? WrestleMania against Brock? He's gonna be the one coming out next week?
I think he needs to be the one to come out against Brock. But again, going back to our earlier conversation, where does this leave LA Knight? As much as I love Obafemi, I feel like we can kind of place him a little easier than we can place an LA Knight into this WrestleMania card. So again, I think the Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar match is bigger.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say that.
Do I want to sacrifice not seeing LA Knight at WrestleMania? That's kind of where my dilemma is right now. So I'm not 100% sure. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it is an Obafemi that comes out next week. But yeah, we'll just have to kind of wait and see for that one.
Oh yeah, but just let's assume it is Oba that comes out. Dude, and then they have their match at WrestleMania and Oba wins that match. Jeez, bro, that momentum.
Yeah,
he is gonna be on top of the world at that point. Oh, dude, I'm looking forward to that. If that does happen, that's just gonna be great to me.
So then it kind of also begs the question, like, are we gonna see a short match like this, or are we actually gonna see a longer Brock Lesnar match? Because this is also Brock Lesnar. Question. Like he doesn't, you know what I mean? He doesn't do long matches. So I don't know, man. I've seen Obafemi go for a while, but I can't tell you the last time that I saw Brock Lesnar do a match that was longer than like 6.5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it's giving me vibes of at the time when it was, big. It was really hyped when it was gonna be Brock versus Goldberg, like years ago. I mean, aside from like the stuff that they were leaving and all that stuff, I hope it's not going that route if they do end up fighting, that it's gonna be a short match like that, just to make Oba look, oh my god, he's even more crazy because he beat Brock Lesnar in like less than like 5 minutes or something like that. I feel like that's something they would think of and try to do, but it would suck too, because it's just like, dude, this is still Brock, like whether your feelings towards him, whether you like him or not, this man's still a legend in this company. Like let them fight for a good minute, make this match good, you know, make it great, and then this is just gonna help the company long term with Oba, dude.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like I feel like Brock kind of decides how long his matches are. Like they don't tell him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah, he has
Um,
so
yeah.
yeah,
So
he has
like,
a lot of
I don't
leeway.
know. Like I agree with you. I think that this is still Brock Lesnar, like you said. No matter what's happened in the past or what might come out in the future, this is still one of the biggest names that's ever come out of the WWE.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like this is a legit guy. Like he's been UFC champ. He's he's
Yeah.
NCAA champ. Um, so to beat a Brock Lesnar, like it definitely puts a lot of momentum on on whoever it is. Um,
Mhm.
doesn't matter if he's 22 or 45. Like this is still Brock Lesnar.
That's still Brock
Um,
Lesnar, yeah.
so yeah, man. If Obafemi comes out, I think regardless whether it's a 5-minute match or a 15-minute match, it's still gonna be a pretty good match. I just hope that if it is an Obafemi, that he does come out on top no matter what.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I just we'll have to, like I said, we'll have to kind of wait and see for next week, just to see
No,
what
absolutely.
happens. Because again, outside of Obafemi, the only other person that I could see it being is LA Knight. Um,
Yeah, there's no one else. I
yeah,
can't think of anybody else.
because
Oh, actually, just kind of transitioning to that is something you mentioned on the last podcast.
mm,
Right after the Oba match ended, and then it showed the Brock Lesnar, he's gonna be here next week. You know, let's see who steps up to call him out or whatever.
mm,
Corey Grave also mentioned, like I also wonder how he feels about Seth Rollins about the
right,
situation with Paul Heyman. He also brought that up too. So I was just like, oh wow, okay. So it's like, whoa, what's going on with that? Like, why would you bring that up? You know,
right.
especially with just hearing about what's happening with Seth, that he's still not clear and all that. So I
Yeah,
wonder
so
what that could lead.
there's like a lot that I guess is kind of up in the air with a lot of these guys, unfortunately with injuries or surgeries or just clear pictures of where they might be headed for this WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, I could see a world where it is Seth Rollins that answers that open challenge. But then it's like, okay, well, is he going to be cleared on time? Because if you guys are saying that he's not cleared, we're about 4 weeks away. So, what is going on here? I think Brock is going to be there a decent amount of time between now and WrestleMania. So we do have, uh, uh, some space here, I guess, for promos.
Yeah.
Um, I think now is the time for an Obafemi to be able to showcase what we all know he can do. Um, but then it leaves Seth. Okay, well, what the fuck is Seth gonna do
Yeah.
for this WrestleMania? Kind of in the same boat as an LA Knight. So I don't know, man. There's just kind of a lot up in the air. I'm excited to see who it is that answers his open challenge. Because I think either one of those three, there's no wrong answer there, but there's
Yeah.
definitely like a tier list on who it should be. Um, but yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see for that for
Yeah.
sure.
Hopefully next week we get our answer.
Yep. And then so after that we had what was the final segment of the night. It was the CM Punk promo. So he kind of just came out, started to run down Roman Reigns a little bit here, saying that he's never here. He's, he basically said that the reason that the World Heavyweight Championship exists is because Roman never wanted to defend, the Undisputed Championship way back when. Yeah, he started to run him down a little bit more, and then we get interference here from the Usos. I was kind of, I guess, confused a little bit at first because I had completely forgot about that whole Jackie interview toward the beginning of the show. But then, yeah, once they come out and they're like, "Hey, we want an apology," I was like, "Oh yeah," like I for some reason I always seem to like forget that all these fools are related for some reason. Unless they're like on screen together, then I know like, oh yeah, no, they're they all grew up together, right?
Mhm.
But for some reason, like when they're not, I kind of separate them in my mind.
Yeah.
So, last week when CM Punk said what he said about Roman's dad, it didn't like I didn't think that like, oh wait, but this is also the Usos' uncle.
Mhm.
So yeah, so they come out, they want an apology. I know you said earlier that you're tired of Jey Uso. This was the best that I've seen Jey Uso in a very, very long time. I like the intensity.
Really?
Yeah, I like the intensity that he came out with. It reminded me of peak Bloodline Jey Uso,
Mhm.
which to me was the best Jey Uso. Um, so now it kind of begs the question, like, are we gonna see a Bloodline reunion here?
That's
You
what I
know
was
what I
thinking.
mean?
Yep.
Like I wonder where it goes from here. Um, so yeah, just to kind of just summarize, I guess, real quick. Again,
Yeah.
he was just kind of running down Roman Reigns here, saying that this title exists because he didn't want to defend. Um, he says, "I'm here to defend, and I'm a fighting champion, and blah 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 blah." Usos come out. They say they want an apology. CM Punk kind of just keeps, I guess, or turning the conversation back onto Roman Reigns. And the Usos are, well, this isn't about Roman. Like, you disrespected our uncle. Like, regardless of whether you're what your feelings are, Roman Reigns, like, our family's still our family, and we're not going to let you disrespect our uncle. Um,
Mhm.
so he apologized very fakely, and then again
Yeah.
it turned back on to Roman Reigns, and at that point the Usos got pissed. There was a shoving match, and then was it Jimmy? I think
It
punched the
was Jimmy.
shit out of him.
Just yep. Clocked him, bro.
Yeah, knocked him out, or knocked him on his ass. I mean,
Mhm.
and then yeah, they kind of just walked away. So, where do you see this going?
Uh,
like we kind of mentioned a little bit before, do you see a bloodline reunion? Do you see Roman wanting them on his side again? Like where do you see this going?
no, I definitely see that. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I do. I see that them teaming up again with Roman. But before we get to that, I just want to talk about, because I know you mentioned that Jey Uso, like, you were digging his
Mm,
intensity and like just how he was. I mean, yeah, the intensity was there, but honestly, dude, I like Jimmy's back and forth with CM Punk a lot better. I don't know. To me, like, it's rare to hear. For me, it was rare to hear Jimmy talk,
mm,
but just the everything he said about CM Punk, and then at the end where he's like, "Oh, you're the voice of the voiceless," but you're talking about our dead uncle who has no voice. Oh my god, dude,
right,
that got me. I was like, dude, that I was like, yo, CM Punk, apologize,
right,
in my head, like, apologize, man. I really enjoyed Jimmy, just the way he was talking, like he wasn't necessarily screaming, but I don't know, he just sounded so clean, so clear. I was just like, wow, Jimmy, like, let me hear more from Jimmy. I was digging that a little bit.
yeah, I mean,
But
sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go for it. No, you're good.
um I don't think it's like I think at this point it's pretty well known that Jimmy is the better Uso on the mic. But my whole thing here is I've over the last like 2 years at this point, all we've heard from Jay is yeet, oos, yeet, 4 letters. You know what I mean? So for us to get like a more serious Jay here, um, it was just something refreshing. And again, it kind of brought me back to peak Bloodline Jey Uso, which
Mhm.
again to me was the best version that we've had of him so far. Um, so yeah, man, I'm just excited to see where this goes. And then my other question also are the Usos heel now? You know what I mean? With them going after Punk the way they did, and for them laying him out, like, was that? Can you consider that a heel turn, or is that just like, nah, we're defending our family type of thing?
Nah, yeah, it's the latter, the we're defending our family type of thing. Because I mean, was CM Punk? I mean, CM Punk's supposed to be a babyface, but
Right.
what he said was not a babyface thing to say. So I think at this point it's just, I don't think they're too focused on that. I think it's just more the story. Like, hey, CM Punk said this about my our family. We're coming at you now. You're disrespecting our family. We're coming at you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, I could see that. I was just kind of like, I don't know. Especially because Roman is more of like that tweener right now. He's not
Yeah.
really like super baby face, but he's not a heel either.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if there was maybe a heel turn here, then I could see a road where they kind of come back together a lot easier. And then at the same time, it also got me thinking about Sammy over on SmackDown because he's also kind of crashing out right now a little bit, right? So I was wondering, oh well, maybe they're turning all these guys right now to kind of put them back together. And then yeah, I just um,
Dude,
I'm just I'm ex-
that is no, that
go
is a
ahead.
great point about Sammy, because yeah, he had that conversation with Randy, and
Mhm.
Randy basically, dude, just listen to the voices,
Right,
just kind of, hey, what do we do? Like the devil on his shoulder type of
right,
thing. But where does that lead the whole thing with the Vision then? If let's say that was the case, because then it's just the Vision's this heel. Is it just
right.
gonna be a heel versus heel?
I mean, it can
Or
be. But like you said, I don't think it was a heel turn. I don't think I see them going heel.
at
At
least not
least,
yet.
yeah, at least not right now. Maybe a little
Mhm.
bit more down the line, if we do get a bloodline reunion, I could see them going back to that heel route. I don't believe that Roman is gonna walk out of WrestleMania with that title, so I could see that maybe being a catalyst for a heel turn there, somewhere down the line, to try to get that title back. Maybe more a more aggressive Roman, or like I said, just going back to those bloodline days where he used his family to kind of get to the top there, right? So yeah, I'm just whenever it comes to bloodline stuff, man, I'm always excited,
Yeah.
especially after not seeing it for so long. Because the last time we saw them was what, War Games
War Games
2024, I want to say.
with CM Punk.
Yeah, with CM Punk there, joining them. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I thought the promo overall, CM Punk by himself and then CM Punk with the Usos, was really really good. I enjoyed this a
Yeah.
lot more than I enjoyed, the promo between CM Punk and Roman Reigns last week. Again, not as much as that first week a couple of weeks ago.
That first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that first one. But then we also learned that Roman Reigns is coming back next week, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see where that kind of goes. Again, I'm just really excited to see how they kind of incorporate the Usos into this storyline, or if they even do past this week, which I believe they are, because they kind of have to at this point, right? So yeah, man, I just I'm Raw started off really weird. It got better as it went on.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it wasn't. Again, outside of that first segment, I really enjoyed the rest of the show.
One thing I did want to bring up though. So during the interview with what's her name, Jackie, right?
Mm,
I forget her name. Yeah, Jack. Because Kathy and Jackie. This one's
mm.
Jackie. Yeah. During that interview with the Usos, I don't like. Did you notice how Jay didn't care in the beginning? He's like, I don't care about CM Punk. I don't care about that situation.
Mm.
It was Jimmy who was the one that seemed like, hey, no, 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 no. Like we need to say something. And then you had Jay just coming in all hot, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, like you gotta apologize to the family. So I don't know. I thought that was just kind of weird, just because it did seem like Jay just had no concerns with Roman Reigns or anything that was going on in that situation. That's why I think
Yeah,
I enjoyed Jimmy a little bit more, just because it seemed like he was the one that wanted some of CM Punk. I don't know. I just want. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those cases where, like, hey, we're brothers. We're gonna fight the same battles no matter what. Um,
Mm,
yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. I guess I didn't really think about it that way. Um, yeah, I don't know.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
I, I,
I don't
re-
know.
I
It's just
really don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just something I noticed. I was just like, huh, because yeah, like Jay just looked like he did not care. Like she was
right.
asking him these questions. He's like, I don't care. Like I'm focused on the vision. I don't care about Seth Rollins. He's gonna get his. But yeah, Jimmy was the one that kind of like instigated all that. Just like, no, 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 we're gonna respond, and then they walked
Right.
away. So I was like, oh, okay. That's why I was like, Big Jimmy, Big Brother Jimmy.
Right.
So I was thinking that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
no,
again,
yeah,
I feel like it was one of those things where, like, hey, my brother's got beef with you means I got beef with you. You know what I mean?
I got beef with you. That makes
Um,
sense. Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
And
That's fair to
then
say too.
again, we didn't, maybe there was more backstage stuff where,
Mm.
in story he's telling them like, hey, like, no, there's some bullshit, like, he talked about our dead uncle, or, yada yada yada, or whatever it was. It kind of got Jay to the point where, when we saw him again, he was hella heated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, I don't know, I didn't think too much of it, I guess.
No, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. But no, yeah, just something I noticed. But no, yeah, dude. Raw, like I said, it was. I thought it was a really great episode. Just that first segment was just really weird, like how you
Yeah.
said. But no, I enjoyed it. Like I was just watching it. I'm like, "Damn, this is a good show." Enjoyed it a lot more than I did SmackDown last
Yeah,
Friday.
that's
So
for sure.
yeah, like I wasn't tired. I wasn't like, ah, it's taking too long. No, like this is going well. I'm digging this. What's next?
Right.
So I hope they keep these episodes up. Leading up to WrestleMania.
So yeah, I mean, so that was the end of Raw. So I guess that kind of wraps up our show for today. Any closing statements that you have? Anything that you want to promote? Anything you want to get off your chest?
No, for now, let's see. Not necessarily, just follow them boys on Instagram, on our YouTube. We're gonna change the name to After the Three Count.
Mhm.
That's where we're going to have our podcast. So, a lot of transitioning
Yeah.
stuff going on right now. So we'll keep everybody updated, making sure they know where to go. So just not to make it confusing. But no, just definitely keep following us. I hope you guys are digging just us talking. This is just our opinion. And in the comments, if you guys just want to go ahead and talk, we can talk. We don't have to agree. We don't have to disagree. We can
Right.
keep it respectful. So yeah, I'm digging this. Just like my boy said last couple episodes. Hey, let's build this community, man.
Mhm.
This is great.
One thing that I kind of want to do, so part of my closing statement, one thing that I really kind of want to do is I want to get more, I guess, community feedback or maybe community comments. Any kind of little things that you guys might want to say that maybe we can respond to on the actual podcast. Feel free to comment whatever it is that you guys want to, about the world of professional wrestling, obviously. And we'll do our best to maybe kind of fit it into the show whenever we get on here. We have a lot of plans, like I've said in the past. We're gonna start seeing more content, or you're gonna start seeing more content come out. Whether it's me doing solo stuff or Marvin doing solo stuff, and then obviously we're gonna come together a couple times a week to just kind of talk about stuff. Like he said, follow them boys on Instagram. Follow Chris Agony on Instagram. Subscribe on the YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do everything just to help us kind of grow here. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's my closing statements here. So I guess that's it, and we'll see you guys next time.
Cool. Later, everybody. Peace.
See y'all.